All right, so I use electrolysis quite a bit, and I have a confession to make. I don't think this stuff works. And, I guess it's a confession, but it's also, over the years, I've seen a number of things online, anecdotal studies, actual scientific studies comparing the rust preventative properties of various oils, and WD-40 is always down near the bottom. Now, if you can, I still do buy the SuperTech variety of WD-40. It just says lubricant on it, and I think last time I bought it, I was paying $1.97 versus I think the WD-40 was like $12. I mean, it was really, really expensive. I don't buy this very often. What you'll find is this is a publicly traded company, and with publicly traded companies, they want to squeeze you. They want to determine your tolerance for a price increase. They talk like doctors like that. They'll say the market is tolerating, the consumer is tolerating our price increases very, very well. So I hate that stuff. It comes out of the same factories as all the other lubricants anyways. The reality is, in the US, all these petroleum products, they come from refineries. It's all the same kitchen. We haven't built a new refinery since like the 70s. And so there's just a few of them. And when you want to make a product like WD-40, I mean, you basically just plug in whatever additives you want to make, there's these very minor differences. I mean, so WD-40, I feel like, is literally bottom of the barrel. And everybody says, well, it was invented to keep missile silos from rusting. And it's like, okay, so you're saying it's a government contracted product? When have we ever felt like government contracted products are top of the line? I mean, talk to anybody in the military about the quality of their government contracted products. I mean, it's just kind of a joke, So the alternative, I have found this works really well. I could go inside and I could just wash all the salt off and, just kind of go nuts. But I don't like smelling up my kitchen with tools and tool stuff and oils. And so here is what I do. If I really need something to be rust proof, I grab some 000 steel wool. I grab a tube of grease, whatever kind of grease you want. And in this case in particular, the whole reason that I do electrolysis on these axes is because the stamping is going to have all kinds of rust and corrosion and crud in there. The electrolysis not only eliminates the rust, but it creates bubbles, and it gets everything out. Look at how clean that stamping is. So I'll take my tube of grease, and I will, good Lord, it's like my handwriting. And I'll just smear that in there. Smear it in there. Dawn said Dove, but Dawn will get that right out. When it comes time, if I want to blue this or do anything, that will just get that right out of there. So I just want to squiggle a few lines on here. We're going to rub in that grease. And what this is going to do is buy me however much time that I need. I do not have to worry about rust at all when I use this method. Grease is excellent. And I put it on kind of thick, but then I buff it. I buff it like Warren. WD-40, did I mention this already? They are a publicly traded company. WD-40 is a publicly traded company. You can look them up. I think they own 3-in-1 too. I can't remember. And actually WD-40 is right up there with just a handful of other companies that perform well during recessions. And so if WD-40 is doing really well, you can even put a little bit of that in your hair if you want the urban lumberjack look. That's my secret. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not that much of a savage. So they do pretty well during a recession. And I guess the theory is that when the market is crashing, see, look at that nice stamping there, Craftsman. When the market is crashing, you're at home and you're probably not flush with cash, and so you're fixing stuff instead of buying new. And then you're looking at that door and you're thinking, I'm gonna fix it because we gotta save money. All right, so here we go. Let me grab that axe handle. So here's what this is going to look like. Oh, wait, did I? Yeah, duh. With Michigans, it's easy to tell which way's up and which way's down. Let me get that in there. So we're going to look at that. So here we go. I am going to reprofile this. Probably going to have to take a good 1/2 inch off there. Yeah, that's going to be a lot to take off. It's going to shorten this Michigan up quite a bit. You know, the beauty of that is it's going to thicken up that bit. It's going to thicken up that bit a lot. Michigans are not my go-to axe because where I live, there's hardwood. We have some softwood, but it's not the boreal forest. You know, we got predominantly, we're dealing with hardwood trees, and if you run into the forest with a Michigan, you're gonna have a bad time. And so I'll grab a Dayton, I'll grab a Jersey, long before I grab a Michigan. But this was $4.95 at my Habitat Restore, and so I picked it up. All right, so here we go. This is going to give me however long I need to get this rehung. Man, look at that. Really nice handle there. I had no idea about grain orientation when I bought this. I didn't care. It was a $5 axe. So, you know, $5 axe, I'll buy a pretty rough axe for $5, and that's what this was. Now, one thing I do want to say about the way this broke, the second reason that I bought this, number one, it was $5, but number two, if you look at the way this chipped, this is very good steel. If you look at the way it behaved when it chipped, clean use. Somebody was chopping rocks or cable. Very, very gnarly. If you look in the old pamphlets that axe companies would send to retailers where they'd say, look, if you're going to get a warranty, this is the kind of chip that's under warranty. This is the kind of chip that's not under warranty. You want it to chip like a U. If you have a U chip in the middle of your axe bit, that's a U issue. If you have a V chip or just a very nasty jagged break, that's a them issue, generally speaking. So it just chipped. When I saw that, I thought that's good steel. So when I do a video hafting this, or maybe I'll do it in this video, I'm going to check the hardness. I'm going to regrind that profile. I think I'm going to flatten that out quite a bit. But anyways, all right. For rust prevention, nothing beats grease. Get yourself a little grease gun and some quadruple steel wool. Thank me later.